dating burnout. What is dating burnout? And, why is it something that we really need to be aware of? Thank you so much for joining us today on Second Act TV. Once again, I'm so happy to welcome back one of my favorite guests, my friend, my colleague, life and dating coach, Treva Brandon Scharf. Treva, thanks for joining me again.
I love it here. Can I move in with you?
Absolutely. That would be, oh my God, we'd be dangerous together.
Oh man, thank God we weren't single at the same time.
Oh, I know. Treva is also the host, talking about not being single, of done being single with her husband, Robbie. He's been on the show a couple times, has great information on these topics as well. Treva, the reason I have you on today is I've come across a few articles that really cued me in on lots of comments we've been getting lately, and that is dating burnout. People are describing symptoms of dating burnout, something we really don't talk about, like the dark side of dating. So I thought that might make an important and interesting discussion. And, I kind of thought of you because you said you've gone through that a lot when you were dating. So let me throw it over to you, Treva. What is dating burnout? And, why is it something that we really need to be aware of?
Well, it's a thing, and it wasn't, and it's not new. I mean, before pre-internet, we all dated before the internet. The problem is that the internet makes everything, there's just a constant steady stream of options and people and opportunities and rejection. And disappointment and failure, and it's all mixed in, and it all leads to a faster road to burnout. So you and I are sort of in the early ages of the internet, of digital dating, yes. I think, right? And
absolutely.
So I spent a few years on before apps, and it just, it's wonderful. I have a love-hate relationship with dating apps. They're great. It casts a wide net, right? People you would never know and never meet ever, right? But then again, like I was saying earlier, it's just there's so much rejection baked in.
Right.
And frustration that if you were going to get burned out, it's going to make it happen faster. Yeah. It's just going to expedite your burnout. Yeah. So people get burned out. They have one too many rejections, or one too many non-starters, or one too many, deal breakers. And
well, it's kind of like Groundhog Day. When you're preparing yourself for the next date, it's like the same. It starts being the same thing over and over and over again. Yes. And a lot of times, and we say this: whatever mindset you bring to the table, you're probably going to create. So that's why it's so important to be aware of this. Let's talk about some of the very obvious signs, and then let's talk about what we can do about it. Number one, and I see this in our comments all the time, is you're losing hope. Talk to me about losing hope.
That is just a killer. Hope is, when you lose hope, then you just, then why be on it? Why date? Why swipe? Why bother? Yeah. Right?
Right.
Hope, you got to keep hope alive. You got to have just a little bit of hope and a little bit of faith that it could happen, right?
Right.
And when you lose that, the thing with hope is that it sets you up for expectations. What happens with expectations is that you get let down, and then it just starts this sort of vicious cycle.
Yeah. Well, a good sign, I think, is like if you just believe, God, I'm going to be single forever. It's just never going to happen. And then, it's obviously a great sign or a good sign of losing hope. And I agree with you, temper your expectations. I also believe, though, that you have to keep, like you said, you have to keep hope alive, or keep the opportunity alive, because if you shut it down completely, then it's shut down completely.
Right.
Yeah.
We need hope. It sustains us in every area of our life.
Yeah. Well, and we do a lot of videos on examples of how people have been successful, after 50, after a long, and there's lots of great stories out there. And what you do, though, create potentially is a comparison of why not me? And
Sure.
And these are all the things that I just want, there's no clear-cut answers here. We're bringing up stuff for you to think about. Is this me? Am I falling into this? Because that's a good way, hopefully, to start snapping out of it. The second one leads right into maybe some of those signs is it's really affecting your self-esteem and your mental health. You find yourself depressed and stressed. Yes. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, that's the worst part. Once that starts happening, it starts affecting everything. It starts affecting your energy and the frequency you are putting out.
Yeah, exactly. And we're sounding a bit doom and gloom, and that's kind of on purpose. We really want to dig deep into the symptoms of burnout so that we can do something about it. And after noticing what is wrong, the other, and you brought this up already too, that you're seriously struggling with rejection, and I kind of think of it as you're going through it, nobody else would know it unless you really go through this. It's almost like constant little heartbreaks. Even if we tell you, don't take it personally, and most dating coaches will say, and me too, you got to learn not to take it personally. And that's very hard to do, right?
Right. Yes, it's death by a thousand cuts.
Yeah.
It really is. And that's another sign of, or another red flag, or another green light to step back or take a break, is when you become so thin-skinned that you're getting bent out of shape, flying off the handle, too hurt, too quick. It's not you. It can't possibly be you. They don't know you well enough. Yeah. But this is what happens, that it's just constant. And so your poor little psyche starts, that's when you need to, okay, that's enough for a little bit.
Yeah. And we do talk about that a lot, that, rejection it's almost impossible to be real in the online world, especially because, like you said, nobody knows you well enough yet. I have total empathy with it. And, I want to validate anybody that's feeling like that. But, and I know never say but, there is ways of dealing with that, or snapping yourself out of that.
Oh, sure. Yeah. And I have clients that I could tell in a minute, just talking to them. I know, I get it. I get what the problem is with you. You are jaded and hardened and cynical and bitter, and it's coming out of every one of your pores.
Right.
And that has to change. So something's got to give. You either have to take a giant break and exhale and let go and just release and surrender, or you stay in the game and you change your attitude. You need an attitude adjustment. Yeah. Or both. Both. You could do this.
Right. And and again, the first step is just becoming aware of it. Some of these symptoms, I think, or the signs that we're talking about, seem obvious, but maybe not to you. Maybe you're not realizing it, that you're doing it, when somebody else observing you is like, oh, like you just said, I see it right away. This is what we need to deal with. If you want to keep dating, sometimes people are done with it, and that's okay too. Just be done with it for the right reason. Yeah.
Yes. And I should mention, we don't want to be doom and gloomers here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I was single till I was 51. I went on 1,000 million first dates. I had tons of rejection. It went both ways. It was a lot of failure, a lot of frustration, and I gave up. So I'm one of those people that waved the white flag. And I said, I'm done. I'm out. I'm out of this. I can't take it anymore. I was almost 50 years old. I had my umpteenth rejection and go nowhere relationship, non-starter or non-closer. And I gave up. And I was okay with giving up. because I felt it was the thing to do. It's kind of like when you're at the Thanksgiving table and you eat too much and you just know your body just says, push away from the table. But okay, I'm done. Can't. That's how I got. That's where I came to. I bottomed out. And you know what? You know what happened?
Yes, I know. You met Robbie.
So, yes, it's not always a bad thing. Burnout can open you up to unknown, unseen, untold opportunities and things. And I highly recommend it because you just never know what will come of it.
Right. Exactly. And it's funny that you bring up Thanksgiving table because, you've had enough. That's it. You're done. But that doesn't mean you're never going to eat again or have an even better turkey.
Right. So, I like to say I quit, and I did. I really did quit, but I didn't quit. I mean, I didn't totally. I mean, I just put a different spin on it. Right. I just thought, no, I'm putting way too much energy and time and heart into this. It's got to be easier. I have to change. It's me. I always kept a little door open, like a little crack, because I didn't give up on love. I just gave up on the way I was seeking it and the way I was viewing it, which made all the difference.
Yeah, exactly. Great point. Well, I mean, let's talk about then what can we do about it? I mean, the obvious is to take a break. You know, to what kind of breaks do you take?
I would pause, mute, deactivate. If you're really serious, you really want to be ruthless about this, get it out of your face. I mean, don't even be tempted.
Yeah.
Don't, whatever it takes to just go, to detox. I mean, do it. And doing so will make you come back to it, as you said. You're not out of the game. You're just taking a little break. Right. You'll come back to it with some fresh eyes and a good attitude. And so delete it all. Don't even look at it. Don't be tempted to look at it if you can do that. And then to that end, don't have a fear of missing out. Because that's like a little thing on your shoulder going, like the little devil on your shoulder saying, get back in there. You're missing out. You never know. He's out there. He's right there. Just one click away.
FOMO. That's right. I've seen that a couple times. It just hit me what it was. Fear of missing out. Learn something new again.
Fear of missing out that's really a very powerful motivator, catalyst for a lot of things. People don't want to be left behind. They think, back to the hope thing. Well, he's just one click away. He's right there. I got to stay in it. You don't really have to stay in it. And by the way, if he is there, he will find you. She will find you. You will find her. You will find him. Somehow the planets will align, and that's how it goes. So back to hope. You put out the energy, you keep a little hope alive, right? And then you detach from the outcome. Yeah. And that's a big part of this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so much easier said than done, and it's so true that once you do that, the energy around you changes, and people start reacting to you differently because you're either not as needy or as desperate or whatever it is that you're putting out. And I sort of liken the idea of burnout with just restarting a computer, rebooting. You shut down, and when it starts up again, it fixes everything. Well, most things that have gone wrong, and you start new. So, a good piece of advice. In reading about burnout and what others out there are recommending or talking about, one option, instead of taking a break, is to be more intentional. A counterintuitive advice, it says here. But go after what you want. Be more intentional about who you'd like to go out with. Start sending likes. Start being proactive, and so you can feel more in control.
Sure.
I have different. I don't know about that. What do you think about that?
I'm all for intentionality. Is that a word?
I think it is now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. Yeah. I think you can't be intentional enough in life with things, right? But double-edged sword, intention being to have dating with intentions can easily kind of turn into dating with just hyper focus. And that's counter to my whole thing about surrendering and detaching from the outcome.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, look, the truth is, you could be as date with as much intention as you can, and it's still not going to work out. But you may throw caution to the wind and say, give this guy a chance, or that one that you wouldn't normally, that woman, and then boom, it's like, right? Yeah. You weren't being intentional. It just kind of was kismet, or somehow divine something brought it together.
Yeah, and that does happen.
And you have to leave, and that happens.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Well, Treva, anything that I haven't mentioned, other signs that you want to leave with the audience?
Oh, well, the thin skin one is a big one. I would also say, you need to take a break when you are way too anxious and you are texting and wondering, texting too fast and getting upset because you didn't receive a text in return as fast as you wanted to, and why isn't this happening fast enough? And that's another sign where you need to just chill the F out and take a breath. Yeah. Just relax, because you don't know what's going on in that person's world and what they're dealing with. And so what, they didn't text you back in a couple hours. They did it the next day. Why are you getting so hysterical?
Yeah, that's worthy of that's worthy of a whole other segment. Yeah, how to text and not to text and how to answer. What I want to leave with is, if you just feel like you're not having fun, that you're not enjoying this. There's nothing fun about this.
Oh yeah.
Big sign. The thing is, dating should be fun.
It should. It's often not. I mean, let's be honest. So to keep the fun in it is important. To keep your wits about you, keep a sense of humor. You just have to kind of go in with a certain set of curiosity. Yeah. Keep your curiosity. Keep that willingness, that openness to want to meet people. Look at it as a chance to make some new connections. Right? There's all kinds of upside to it.
Right.
So keep that in mind. Yeah. And then in your downtime, when you're on your break, keep dating, but date IRL. Just put the damn phone down. Yeah. And look at people. Yeah. Right? Make eye contact. Yeah. Be with your friends. Go out, pursue your your hobbies and your
that too.
Right?
Yes.
Keep yourself busy and active. Exactly. And then also enjoy your quiet time. That's a big piece of this. You must be okay with just being quiet and still. Yeah.
I know that can be difficult. Treva, thank you so much. We will, of course, link to all of your information as usual to your website. If you need a dating coach, and Treva resonates on on many levels with me, I know that. Do give her a call. She's fabulous to work with. And of course, tune into Done Being Single with Treva and Robbie. I'll have the link in our show notes. And we'll see you next time on Second Act TV. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't already done so, please be sure to subscribe to our channel. You can click on this little button right here, click right through to YouTube, and when you see the little bell right next to the subscribe button, hit that too, and we'll notify you every time we launch a new video. See you next time.